All right, welcome everybody to Power 30. So this morning, if you're ever on live with me and we do we celebrate first, celebrate yourself, call out somebody on your team, give them a shout out, talk about declare something, talk about things are going well, like we chit chat a little bit. And I just kind of want to keep us rolling this morning. We've had really good conversations. Nicole was just sharing some things that she had done with her team, being very straightforward and calling them out on the lack of movement and the lack of momentum and how that needs to be created by them and it can't be created by anybody else. And like I can't do it for you. But I love that the standpoint she had of challenging them, which she was just commending Ashley on, like, hey, this was one of the hard conversations that we had. And it went well and they're moving forward. So I just kind of want to stay in this chit chat for a little bit. Um, and talk about with you that are on live, talk about some things that you're like, hey, this has been really hard, or this is going really well. And these are the thing, like this is the thing. And then I kind of want to talk about it because what I can tell you is that the people on here with you right now and the people listening to the recording are experiencing these same things that you are. They may be in a different part of their journey. So the intensity of the problem might be a little different, but we're all struggling with pretty much the same thing. So if somebody on here wants to unmute or drop it in the chat and then I can kind of talk about it if you can't. I just kind of want to like spitball some of these things that seem really hard, or like maybe it's time management, or maybe it's just your mindset, or something that you're like, hey, like I've been working on this and or this is what I learned from working through this. Is there anybody that's vulnerable enough to share? As my child's trying to feed the dog veggie straws. Let's not.
I'll try and add,
Okay.
Caitlin. I think one of the big things that I'm working on in my business, I've been doing this for a bit, and it's developing duplication. It's not something that I learned initially early on, because of the nature of how I was brought into the company. And I've really changed it to you're having these great results. Not only should you tell somebody, or I'd love it if you shared with me so that, I can shout you out, but let me know when you're ready to share with somebody so I can get your product paid for. And maybe we end up making money, but having that conversation and just teasing, let me know when you're ready for an extra 200 or 300 bucks in your bank account. I'll show you how to do it. It's simple. I'll take you through one step at a time. And that's been something working on it, asking people if they're open to it. And it's really gone from nobody in my community duplicating to having 4 or 5 people who are all saying, what do I need to do next? How does this message look? These are the people that I have interested. And now we're lining up three-way conversations, three-way calls, and events. And
Mhm.
it really is taking what I was shown initially as you can use this for affiliate marketing. That's not what our business is. To here is how we duplicate, then going from nobody to like 5 people who actively want to share. It's easy to see now where going from senior gold to emerald could happen in a matter of months if everybody does what they need to do. So just continue that conversation. Let me know when you're ready. I'll show
Okay,
you how to
so
do it. It's simple.
I want to ask you that. I want to ask you this because, this is where everybody gets caught up. They're like, awesome. And somebody on this call right now or on the recording is like, hey, Michael, can you send me what you're saying? So let me ask you, Michael, do you think it's what you're saying or it's how many times you're saying it?
I think it's how many times I'm saying it. The very first one, um, not the first one to share, but the first one that came out and he's like, hey, my wife and I are ready to start a business. I'm going to share it with her. I may as well share it with other people. He's probably heard both myself and Luther a half dozen times, if not more. We've told him it's only a matter of time before you start sharing. We know
Mhm.
you're going to. You've lost 26, 28 pounds in 3 months. You're doing great. You're not snacking. Everybody around you is seeing it.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before you start making money. And
Which
having
I
that
think is
conversation.
great. I'm going to stop you real quick. I think that
Yeah.
is great because you're setting up for the like, I know you're going to do this. Like, it's just a matter of time. You're just kind of setting that up for them. It might take a year, but you still said it's only a matter of time. And that person remembers that and they see that as possibility. So I just want to say, like, I think that's a really good way to set it up to like, hey, it's only a matter of time. You're going to love this. You're not going to be able to keep it to yourself. I love that.
And that's it. And so now we're at the point where testimonies are being shared. People are asking questions. And, in the very first phone call, hey, I'm ready to learn more about the business. Let me know what kind of money you want to make.
Mhm.
And it's, well, I just want to help people. And I love that. Like, I love that motivation. That's the kind of person that I want to be working with. But as I look at the people on this call, all of us value our time. We should value our time because, I mean, you've got kids running around. You need to make sure that you're investing your time wisely. So, as I explained to him, you can do a little bit of work and you can get paid a little bit of money. You can do a lot of work and make more money, or you can teach other people to work with you and get to a point where you say, do I really want to keep on doing my job? And breaking that out in the way that our company is designed, in the way that we're debt free. It was shared publicly. I don't remember who, somebody the other day shared it very publicly. Like, the blessing that we have a company that is debt free and can reward us for that. No clue what that meant when I started. Had no idea what we were falling into. And we can take our profit and reinvest it into our people so that we can continue to grow. That's what a successful business looks like, from the very top down. And when he saw that, and when I said, if you want to design, I will show you what 5, 10, $20,000 a month looks like. And he said, I didn't realize that that was possible. Maybe we do actually need to take a look at what we can do to get to that point. Well, perfect. Let's talk about being a jewel. But first, we're going to keep it simple. Here's how you add one person, and that's it.
I love it so much. I love it. And it really is for us, it's it's the how many times are you willing to have a conversation? One, with the same person, two, with your network, right? Like, go way back to the beginning of all of this. And I remember Alita and Megan and Lisa Youngs and Cheryl, like, oh, it takes 7 to 12 exposures for someone to say yes. Okay. That's just in sales in general. That's in ideas. So if you haven't talked to someone 7 times or presented it 7 times about the business, you haven't said it enough. You haven't talked to enough people. And like, I've fallen into it too, where you send a whole bunch of messages. We've talked about the inconsistency. You start sending all these messages and you're like, oh my gosh, I did so much. I had so many asks today and nobody says anything. And then every day after that, it's a little bit less because you're like getting a little defeated. Like, I'm getting ghosted. People are saying no, they don't want to get in, blah, 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 blah. Right. But it's getting in the practice of having those conversations with everyone. Hey, are you ready to do this? Hey, also, one, because of the law of numbers. Two, because you don't know if someone's situation changes, and people's situations change overnight. And most of the time, they're not going to tell you when their situation changes. Right? So it's that willingness and to be bold and to be clear and to do the follow-ups and the reach outs. And that's what happens, right? Okay, so Michael's got 4 or 5 people that are starting to share. Okay, in the next 2 months, Michael's going to spit out 2 goals, and everybody and their stinking mother is going to be like, Michael, what are you doing over there? Michael, what are you saying? Michael, and I'm going to be like, go pull October 22nd Zoom and listen to it. Right? Like, that's what happens. They're going to see the growth. They're going to be like, tell me all the things. No. This started in August, in July, when he started having all of these repetitive conversations with his people. So it's how much are you willing to follow up? Are you willing to be that person? Do you believe in your stuff and the compensation plan enough to stay the course and follow up? So Michael, thank you so much. Anybody else? Something that's going well, something you're struggling with. Anybody willing? I can wait. I can be really patient. Somebody's got something. Something is in your brain. right now. We are almost in Magic Week. So you are either almost to your goal or you're not. You have a feeling, you have an emotion. Something is hard. So a thought that I always have when we're getting to the end of the month, right? We see this on everybody's team. We hit Magic Week. And if you have something that comes into your head, put it in the chat or just unmute yourself and stop me. We get to the end of the month, Magic Week's happening, and people start working. Right? All of a sudden it gets loud. Chats get loud. Things are happening. People are moving. Signups are piling in, right? Numbers get higher at the end of the month. It's just what happens. Why is that? I honestly think it's because there's a deadline and the deadline becomes very real. That the 31st is coming. Okay. Maybe it snuck up on you. Maybe you weren't prioritizing all month long, but now you are in it's go time. We've got 6 days, 7 days. Okay. What do we need to do for ourselves to keep that focus all month long? Think about when people are running a race, okay? We'll talk 5K because I've got experience with that, right? You pace yourself, except for the last what? Quarter mile, eighth of a mile. I don't care who you are. You are trying to give everything you've got in that last little bit because you're pacing yourself, right? Or you pace yourself the whole time. That last little bit, you want to finish strong. So you speed up. You empty the tank. I don't need anything after I cross that finish line. I don't need anything left. Let's just empty the tank, right? But I paced myself the whole rest of the race. Sometimes I think what happens is we forget and we don't prioritize to pace ourselves the whole month. And we think it's fine. I'll just sprint the 5K in the last 5 days. Well, what happens? You lose your breath in the first quarter. Now you already feel defeated and you're like hitting the first mile. Now you're scrambling, right? So what happens? You cross that finish line and collapse because you gassed out a long time ago. Okay? You've got nothing left to give. That's what happens at the end of the month going into the next month. And we get caught in this cycle. You didn't pace yourself all month. You tried to sprint the whole thing when you were not conditioned for it. Now you're tired and exhausted. You definitely don't take on the next month because now you need to recover. And you're tired and you're burnout. And you know what? You sent out crazy messages for 6 days and nobody really answered, but they didn't really have the time to answer either because it was only 6 days of work. Why do we sabotage ourselves to work so close to the deadline and then we set ourselves up for emotional failure? This is why when we were talking about going Sapphire and the girls were going Emerald and people were going Ruby, it was a thought out 2-month process to avoid burnout, to avoid that exhaustion, to plan it like a business strategy, not a reflex. You have got to pace yourself towards your goals. It has got to be consistent. Okay. My kids always talk about the rabbit and the hare, right? The rabbit or the turtle and the hare. The hare just wants to run and sit and take a snack and do this. And then he runs and stops. The turtle just kept going. If you pick an IPA, if you pick a strategy and you just stick with it consistently, you will see more results. If you stick with that slow, consistent, every day, no matter what, dedicated, committed, disciplined strategy. Rather than panicking, it's Magic Week. Guys, Magic Week is super magic if you've worked 3 weeks prior. Magic Week is just a major letdown if you don't. And then you're setting yourself up going into, let's say, November, and you're like, "Pfft, well, that was another month I couldn't get it together," right? Our expectations are too high for what we're willing to do. We're setting goals that we're not ready to commit to. Consistency will win every time. Don't wait until what would be Magic Week Friday and be like, I'm gonna turn it on. The afterburners are on. Here we go. Like, no. You pick up the pace, you close out the 5K in Magic Week, but you've been running all month. So the good news is that we do have some days left, and we have 9 days left in the month. Okay. You can work those 9 days, and November's going to roll around, and no, you're going to show up November 1st, and you're going to pace yourself all month long. It's going to feel a lot different. Okay. And let's think about what Michael's saying. Sending these messages, consistent asks. If you are consistent and you send 5 messages every day for 30 days, that's 150 messages a month. 150 opportunities. But if you skip 2 days a week, now we are down to 5. Oh, what did I say? 5. So that would be what? Taking 5 to, that would be 20. Now we're down to 20 days. 20 times 5, that's only 100. You've robbed yourself of 50 chances because you weren't consistent. Consistency will win every time. So why do we wait till the deadline is so close to panic, right? And I think it's human nature. That's what they do to us. But that is where you have to put in your mind, this is the deadline. I'm going to start working towards it now. Okay. This is in high school or college where we wait till the night before to write the paper. Okay. We're not doing that anymore. That was bad. They should have never let us do that. Bad habit. We don't wait till the night before the research paper to figure it all out. Okay. We are going to pace ourselves all month long. Then you turn on the afterburners for Magic Week, and it truly is magic. All right, we've got like 4 minutes. Comments? Somebody else have something they want to say? Anybody? Shh. No, everybody's good. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. All right, you guys. So I really just want to encourage you. Stick with your strategy, your IPA, like whatever that system you have is, stick with it. If you feel like your system is fuzzy, then get clarity around it. Like that's your homework. Get clarity around what should I be doing every day? How do I know it was a good day? And can I do that consistently? Maybe you can't send 10 messages every single day. So don't. I would rather you send 3 messages every single day for 30 days. That would be, what would that be? 90 messages. Then you say, I'm going to send 10 messages every day, making it 300, and you actually only send 75. Or if your goal is 300, you send 100. Like, I would rather you pick something that you can do and you do it than to make some crazy goal that you're just going to beat yourself up about that you didn't do. So pick your strategy. What is it? Stay consistent. Show up every day and do it. And guys, this is the biggest thing, like I'm figuring out still 8 years in. You got to be flexible. I feel like this is extra credit here. I was thinking this yesterday. You have to be flexible because when something becomes too rigid, we fight it. Okay? We work with people, right? We hear it all the time. Oh, well, this happened and that happened and the school called and the kids got sick and then I forgot we had this and then this happened and then the chicken's this and then the cow that, and like, okay, it's going to happen. You have to be willing to be flexible. Maybe you work from 10 to 11 every single day and everything hit the fan at 9:45 and you're like, great, now I'm done. I'm never going to get my stuff done. No, you're going to do it at 6:30 and it's going to be fine. But you have to be flexible. Don't make it too rigid or you're going to resist it every single time. And then the next day you're going to beat yourself up because you're like, well, I didn't get what I needed done yesterday. So there's that. And you're going to beat yourself up again. Well, I didn't do that. I don't know. No. Consistency and be flexible. That is why we do this, right? Because it's flexible. Don't make it rigid and don't punish yourself for inconsistency. Just get back on the horse. All right. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Talk to you guys next week.